Hello, my name is Jackman. I'm a member of the IRHA management team, which is the Irish Road Haulage Association. And recently we had our annual conference, and an issue that raised its head again and has done the last 3 years of my involvement in it is the state of the non-motorway roads, the non-main roads, the regional roads and the link roads. And this evening we will be doing a run around locally, just showing you the issue for truck drivers and hauliers. And what we have here is a typical truck with a bulk tipping trailer, which would be like doing farm deliveries. So there are smaller versions of this that you would see, smaller lower cabs, but this would be typical of what I would be running. And as you can see, the widest part of the vehicle is where the mirrors are, and as it's about 3 meters, little under 3 meters high. So the issue we have is that the roads, where the ditches are coming out, the boughs of trees and the branches, to protect the mirrors, the truck cannot stay where it should be on its side of the road. So it's continually coming over the wrong side of the road, being forced to do so by the overgrown ditches. And so it's a bugbear of mine, not only the ditches but the blind bends they create, and how this creates a hazard, not just for the truck driver and the haulier, but it's a hazard to have a vehicle like this on the wrong side of the road for motorcyclists, pedestrians, cars, you know. So it's a national issue. And while we'll be showing you the roads local in the County Waterford area here, this is just an example of what's replicated all over the country that hauliers are trying to deal with. And if you see in your area, if you're on a country road and you see the mirror with a big metal plate at the back of it, it's not for aesthetics, it's just a haulier trying to protect his mirror or their mirrors from these overgrown branches. So we have this back unit here is €60, and we would lose several of these a month. And then the main unit would be about €600. And I've even had instances myself where this will get such a rap it actually comes in and breaks the side window. It's happened on the driver's side once with me and twice on the passenger side. So as I say, it's an issue, and through the spin that we'll do now locally, hopefully you'll see how it's an issue for all road users. And the purpose behind it is to hopefully get some response from the state agencies whose responsibility it is. Okay, so we'll hit the road. Thank you. Yeah. How are you? Where we are now is we're on the R681, which is the regional route from Kill to Kilmeadan. And as you can see around us, the ditch isn't an issue. It's nice and low, set back from the road, so the truck is able to stay within the white line, stay on its own side of the road. And this is ideal driving conditions. As I say, I've also driven motorbike. I've driven in Africa, South America, Australia, UK, the continent multiple times, and I have to say the most dangerous place in the world to drive a motorbike from my experience, and indeed a truck, is Ireland. And it's primarily down to the ditch, that you're driving blind, where it creates the blind bends. And what we're on now, as I said, is perfect. The safety aspect of being able to see so far ahead and preempt what's happening. Now we're looking at the ditch closing in on us on both sides, and if you actually listen, and you can actually hear the mirror is rubbing off the ditch. So I cannot stay where I should be on my side of the road. I'm now a foot to 18 inches on the wrong side of the road. I'm back over now where it leans back. And as I say, this is an hour route. This is a regional route, and this is so typical of what we're meeting all over Ireland. So we're in again. Yeah, you can hear the mirrors still rubbing. Here's another truck coming now, and two of us will have to slow down to make sure we can pass without taking the mirrors off each other's truck. Yeah, that's grand. So the ditch is grand here again. The road is narrowing a bit ahead, and again, the width of the road isn't where the surface is. For me, the width of the road is at the height of the mirrors, which is up to 3 meters from the ground up. And we've a blind bend in front of us here now, again caused by the ditch. So you're going around blind, which creates surprising and precarious driving circumstances in Ireland for everyone. So the ditch is just my bugbear. Not only for the damage it does now. This point is a disaster, and regularly now we run on this road, and you'd have to brake here if you met another truck, because the risk just here now, because the boughs there could take the mirror off the truck. And there's another one here. just again where it comes in, and they're actually branches, they're solid. You're not just pushing leaves back, you'll take the mirror off. So I'm just on the correct side of the road there, just held it, but if I was meeting another truck, my mirror was on the wrong side, so we'd have to brake and go and try and go around each other. So again, you can see the difference. As soon as the ditch disappears or goes back or goes low, just the road opens up, and it's a much more relaxing environment for driving and safer. And I can see from my height, I can see around the bend here, there's nothing coming, which all bends should be like. And you'll see down here, there's a farm on our left here now, but on the right, you'll see where this farmer took the ditch out to make it safer for the milk lorry turning into the farm to collect milk, because the ditch there was higher, and the farmer himself took it out to make this corner safer and to take the risk out of it. So, as I say, we're still on the R681 heading for Kilmeadan. There's one or two other spots here that are particularly dangerous that I'd like to show you before we go down to a link road that's not too far from here. Very easy and comfortable. If you look over here, you'll see the truck is well over on its side, inside the white line, staying. We have no problem staying on our side of the road. In fact, the RSA haven't had an ad on there recently for a motorbike, how dangerous motorbikes were, and they projected as being a consequence of speed. Whereas if you look at the ad, if you remember it, to my mind, it's the blind bend. I know speed contributed to the extent of the incident, but it was the blind bend created the incident. And the motorcyclist, you can see him, he beats a bend, he's absolutely blind as to where the road is going, and you could argue he should have been going slower, absolutely, but it's the blind bend creates the problem, and it's being projected to us that speed is the problem. I'm saying otherwise. I'm saying the blind bend is the problem. Directly in front of us now we have the ditch, the tree sticking out, so I'm just on the white line to get around it. And further on down here now is a bough of a tree that comes out, and if my trailer was taller, I would be under risk of damaging the trailer. We slow down here now so you can see the bough sticking out. And like they're full branches of trees sticking out, they would do some damage to the trailer now if I was in tight. So we can't get in. We're on the white line just about. That one there, and here we are again. You can actually see, if you look from the mirror's perspective, the road is a lot narrower than the surface. Now I'm on the wrong side of the road, there's a car coming, but I have to be, and the mirrors, you can still hear the mirrors still hitting, and I'm just on the white line and over it. So, and again, we've a blind bend, asking people to go around, and it's just so, it so contributes to a hazard for everyone. Not only because of forcing the truck over to the wrong side of the road, but we're driving blind, and I've never witnessed that in any other environment. And I'd even suggest to people, if they go even to the north of Ireland, as soon as you cross over the road, the border, you will see how relaxing, you will feel how relaxing it is to drive, and it takes a while to figure out how is it so much more relaxing. And the reason is the ditch. While there are ditches up there, they're set back from the edge of the road by 1 to 3 meters, and they're low. So you have vision around the bend and down the road. You can see the cyclist, you can see the people out walking. You're not getting the surprises that you get here because of our blind bends. So there's just one more small bit to go here now, and I just want to show you how the state agencies even contribute to these hazards. Yeah, we're just about staying inside here now. If I was in tight enough, that 50k sign would hit the mirror. And there's another pole up here, a steel pole in the ground that, and it's just an example of, again, if there was a truck coming down, I would have to brake because I couldn't be in as tight as I need to be, because I would hit that pole. So we'd have to go around that pole with the mirror again because of the mirror. So the authorities are putting obstacles in the ditch to contribute to a road hazard, which is extraordinary if you think about it. Okay. We're turning down now from O'Keefe's Cross, it's known as locally. It's the regional road, or into Tramore. We're turning down now to Dunhill, which is quite a busy road, and we're straight into it. And you can see the problem straight away. And this road to Dunhill is a little over 3 miles long. It has 19 blind bends in it, and look at that tree there on the left. There's 19 blind bends in it. And from my guesstimate, living around here as long as I have, there's been 51 planning approvals on the stretch of road that we're on now, and not one of those planning approvals were used by the local authority to have a ditch taken down or a ditch removed just to give vision around the bend. So this goes on and on and on. You can hear the mirror again rubbing in, and if you meet another truck or tractor on this, you know, it's so we're going slow, obviously, because the road is narrower for me, and I'm the largest vehicle that can be on the road, and the road is narrower for me or anyone like me than it is for the car user, and I'm the largest vehicle. I'm able to get in a little bit here now, but you can see the pole there. I have to get back out again, and now we're heading for another blind bend. So as I say, 19 blind bends on this stretch of road. The population of the area has grown. There's more and more planning that's being given. We're banging away, trying to protect my mirrors. There's that bough of a tree sticking out there. Another blind bend here. Car coming out. So I can't get in because of the mirror. Yeah, if you look in the mirror now, you see how far out I am from the ditch. I cannot get in. So the road isn't as wide. If you measure the width of the surface of the road that I'm driving on is approximately 1 metre narrower, because I have to protect my mirrors. I'm wider. At the narrowest point, I'm widest. Here's another blind bend. So as I say, 51. My guesstimate is 51 planning approvals on this road. And we have here now just where the ditch lowers, and the impact is immediate. Now I have vision down the road. The bends would be still blind to a car or motorcyclist, but they're not to me because of my height. So the road now I'm hugging the ditch now. My mirror's gone in over the ditch. There's no gap between me and the side. So all good. So while I'm on this, while I'm showing this to you through this video on roads that are local to me, that I'm familiar with, there isn't a haulier in the country that could not get in their own truck and make a similar video of their own area, and they would give you the litany of damage that has happened. Their trailers, their trucks, their mirrors, the incidents that have happened, the accidents that have quite possibly happened, you know, from striking the ditch, from it's a stress, and it's just so unnecessary. And you know, the question you have to ask is, who is ultimately responsible for this? Because it's a hazard, and I'm repeating myself, it's a hazard for everyone. Forcing me out onto the road beyond where I should be because of the ditch is a hazard for everyone. And another layer on that is the blind bends that it creates, and people going around bends absolutely blind to what's on the other side is criminal. And it could have been so easily leveraged against the planning applications to have trees removed or ditches removed, and the locals would have gained a benefit from the local planning approval. There's nearly an argument for a local benefit to be highlighted and outlined on the back of a planning approval, and we might see less objectors then. There's the poles now again, potentially a threat to the mirrors of themselves put up by another state agency. If you think this is bad, wait until you see what's down the road in front of us. So as I say, when you're in your car, you're below all this. I'm back out again. It doesn't impinge on you, but it's impinging on the truck that's coming against you, which is an issue for you. So tree after tree after tree there now on my left. I cannot get in. I expect I'm 1 to 2 feet away from the ditch. Now I'm back in again. I think this corner was taken out. The ditch is down on your left there. I think that was done about 35 years ago. I used to travel at this road going to college inside in Waterford. How long ago was that? But on a motorway, and the road hasn't changed since. That one bend back there, I think, is the only ditch that I know of that was taken out. You know, there's leaves on these, so I'm rubbing off them. You can hear the mirror rubbing off the leaves. I'm still not even up against the ditch. That's as close as I can go. Now we have a few more blind bends in front of us. I can pass this fella now. I have to get out again because of the ditch. Rubbing away. There's horrendous bends in front of us now, which you have to crawl through. If there's a car coming, we have to go over to the wrong side because of the trailer to get around the bend. We can stay tight here now. It's the same here again now. To make way for the trailer following us, we have to stay out. So we're on the wrong side of the road again. But without vision, that's the problem. The blind bend again. We're not too far from Dunhill now. So where there's no ditch, as I say, the road is effectively, you could say, 2 meters wider when you factor in both sides, how it allows trucks to pass each other. Or, you know, you could, this time of year you'd need tractors throwing silage. And now this bend down here, we've just passed the local sports centre and the village is below us. And the kids from the school sometimes walk up this road here to get to the sports centre that we passed. And there's a bend down here now that has caused a lot of incidents, and I've had a lot of close ones myself here. So just take mind of this. We're, even in the truck, we're absolutely blind, and I'm now going completely over onto the wrong side of the road. And the trailer, you see the trailer cutting in there behind. Yeah. So this is the last stretch down to Dunhill, but that bend was there. That bend was there when I was, as I say, 40 years ago when I started driving motorbikes, and it's still exactly the same after 51 planning approvals on this road. And that bend, like so many others you've seen on this video, they've no improvement. Now I'm indicating into the left to show you a sign, and you can see those poles. I've rubbed them now. You can see that sign. That's from truck mirrors hitting it, and that's our local authority put that sign there. I'm actually over to the left, and no one can even pass me if there was anyone behind me. I'm out that far on the road to avoid that sign, and you can see by the curvature of the sign that it's been impacted so many times by mirrors, and undoubtedly the truck or the mirror that did hit it came away with a broken mirror. Compliments of our local authority, state agency. And here we have another 2 signs that recently went up showing an 80k speed limit. Now if I was meeting a truck here, we 2 of us would have to stop because of the sign. The risk of damaging the mirror against the sign. You see the trailer is just rubbing off. It just lacks awareness, initiative and intelligence. It's scary. You can see, unlike the coast that we've just been on, the ditch is back in on top of me now, and I can't stay on the right side of the road. I'm on the white line and going over to the wrong side of the road for one reason and one reason only, and that's the ditch. I'm trying to protect my mirrors. Okay, well, we're back at base. We're back where we started. We're on the R681. We headed to Kilmeadan. We did the circuit down through Dunhill, as you know, up the Copper Coast in back to Kilmeadan, and then came up the R681 back to the yard. So we're on the road about 45 minutes. Obviously the video will be less than that. Thank you for watching it. As I say, the initiative and the purpose behind it is to highlight an issue that has been raised year after year by members of the Irish Road Haulage Association but I'm presenting it as an issue not just for us and our members. It's an issue for all road users. It's actually a national issue. And if you go on the road from Blackwater to Enniscorthy, which is a regional road, if you go on the road from Kilmeadan to Carrick-on-Suir, another regional road, Kilkenny to Urlingford, and I'm saying those because they are roads that we're regularly on, there are areas on those roads that 2 trucks cannot pass without stopping and manoeuvre around each other if they meet at the wrong place because of the ditch and the blindness of the bends. And as I said, as a motorcyclist, this is an issue for me, and I've yet to come across a country with as many blind bends as we have. And I witnessed, or I heard only last week, a senior member of the IRHA was on the radio explaining to people how to approach and go around blind bends. And I just got angry listening to him, because it should be a national policy to get rid of them. So I don't have a whole lot more to say. Hopefully the video works, it gets the message across from a haulier's perspective, and that you do see it as a national issue and an issue for all road users. And again, I'm repeating myself, that any haulier in the country I know can get in their truck and go out and make a similar video. So that just ain't good enough. So we're going to be presenting this to the TFI, the Gardaí, the RSA, the Department of the Environment, the local authority, and just try and find out who's responsible, whose job it is to police it, and who's going to sort this mess out. We also have contacts in Brussels, and we'll be presenting it to them to see what directives there are, what regulation that Ireland is obliged to conform to in its road network, and see if we can come at it from that angle. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Copper Coast. My tacho was on break, so I can't move now for another 45 minutes. So Will there on the video, thank you, Will. We'll have to have a chat for 45 minutes, Will. I don't know what we do. So good luck, good evening to you, and thank you very much. Bye.